And good morning. It's your friendly neighborhood Tironan. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so bear with me. Today we have the fully upgraded IL-10. Yes, I have finally bought the last of these expensive modules, and it does take a very, very long time to get these. Um, to give you an idea, I believe this was right around 50,000 points. This was 30 or 40,000 points, so forth and so on. It was very expensive. And of course, it means a great deal of time spent on the aircraft just to get it to this state. I'm finding that ground attack aircraft in general are very expensive to bring up given the amount of upgrades that you can get on them. The turrets cost, the weapons are fairly minor, but I should say the ordnance is fairly minor, but the guns are very expensive. The frame is very expensive, and the final engine upgrade was very expensive. With the experience on this aircraft, I would recommend first off that you get this. Makes a major difference. Okay, keeps you alive. Helps keeps you alive. At tier 8, there's a lot of things out there that can still kill you pretty easy. These are very good cannon. You'll have to work your way through them, but if you want an effective armor-piercing gun armament on your IL-10, and you do, then you're going to have to purchase them, and they are expensive as all get out, and both in experience and in silver. Just the way it goes. The airframe throws quite a bit of points on you, and so when you start looking at the final um, result, you get one heck of a ground attack aircraft. So you have your 257 millimeters, and you have your 23 millimeter on the back. Your bombs, your survivability, if you build this correctly, with these upgrades, which is the improved covering, the turret stabilization, and well, these two in particular as regard to survival points. The reinforced airframe and improved covering contribute 20% of the total that you're seeing. Okay, so you're going into battle with almost 2,000 hit points. And, oh, I'll be almost invincible in this. Well, no. There are aircraft out there that can deliver 6 to 800 damage per second. And if you think you're going to last very long against them, you're wrong. But you do have the blessing of the tail gunner who can really, really hurt them. And so let's talk about that a little bit. I have chosen quick reflexes and defensive fire because quick reflexes gets you on target faster, defensive fire gets you a 30% reduction in incoming fire. Your fire going back out when you're talking, a P-51 will be hitting you 360, 380, something like that. Well, let's take a look at some of the aircraft to see what their outputs are. Okay, so here you're talking 440, which is on the light side. Okay. IL-250, 450. You start talking other things that you will see. P-51H. And it's probably one of the lighter ones at 390. Okay. So something like this can chew through you pretty quick. If you're unfortunate enough to get one of these on your tail, 680, 460. You get the idea. I don't have to beat a dead horse here, right? But here's there are well, let's look at a few more. 720, and the personal terror of the sky, 880. There are things out there that can really hurt you. So you're going to need all the help you can get. So when we look at this fellow, well, that's a pilot, isn't it? Might help if I actually got on the aircraft here. All right. So when you get this, you get your fellow, you get this, and you get this. This is really helpful because 30% reduction is significant. It will help you stay alive longer. And with your tail, you can get back in your tail gunner position and really do some damage to somebody with that 192. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I have had at least one game where I killed 5 aircraft in a row with that tail gunner. Yeah. So it hurts. And because of the gun stabilization, makes a huge difference. Okay. Get your range out there to about 15%. This gets your gunner on target by 50%. This gets him on, gets the 30% reduction. And the next plans are to get the armorer, which gives you another 20% burst length. And the ballistics expert will give you another 15%. So they add together with the turbo stabilization, you're looking at a 30% reach on these guns, right? And these guns, when you look at them, are out there at almost 3,000 feet. Okay, so important. And this baby is what makes it all worthwhile, because you expend your bombs, your rockets, you're waiting around. The first thing you get to fire with is your cannons because of the reach on them. This is 4,000 feet. Close enough anyway, right? Okay. The last upgrade was this one, which gives you 19 more miles an hour. So now you're up to a whopping 320 miles an hour, which means you're at Tier 8, you're probably the slowest aircraft in the game. But I have accomplished my mission and gotten all the modules on that. Now we can actually start working to the IL-40. Now, Tier 8, everything starts to be a drag. You're talking, 230,000 points, more or less. Experience points to get the aircraft. The nice thing is by that time you'll have plenty of silver to go buy your aircraft. But you all go through the same routine again, and it's going to be much slower from 9 to 10. So, it's just the way the game works. I went through this with World of Warships, and I will tell you that I got my Fletcher, which is a wonderful destroyer, and enjoyed the heck out of it, and I must have ground on that thing so long it wasn't funny, and I finally got my gearing. But it was, the amount of effort that went into it was just incredible. And so we'll prove with this. The World of Wargaming does have a formula that they stick to, and you will spend inordinate amounts of time getting your aircraft up to Tier 9. So, can't wait to get my first Tier 9. Hopefully it'll be a good one. But I have to bring everything in the series up to Tier 9, so it's grind heaven around here. Alright, we'll want to take that command center and then head over to the military base, and maybe if I get lucky we'll have some fighters that'll follow along with me. I'm not counting on it, but we're going to try. Now I have set up my flaps on the M key, and until I take it off it should remain. And the first thing I want to do is kill off that anti-aircraft mount. And we're almost at speed. There we go. There we go. I do believe we killed it. And it tells me we killed it. Alright. Completed our bomb load, captured the base, and let's see where everybody's pointing at. We're on the other rocket, the rocket base, which is the smart move here. Now I did not have to hit flaps on that. Rather easy to capture. We're going to use a little boost, and we have lots and lots of boost. And except for getting from one target to another, boost isn't all that useful to this aircraft, except if you're trying to swing around and kill another enemy aircraft, which I do on this with surprising regularity. Okay, now we're going to hit our flaps here, slow down. This is not an area where speed is your friend. And what we're trying to do here is kill all opposition to us taking this base. And I just happen to have a load of rockets to expend on these guys. And drop my bombs. Hopefully I didn't drop those too early, but I don't know. Yep, that did it. Okay. And we got some good points here. I am all sorts of torn up, and I don't believe that we have any sort of resupply. So, okay, we've done our job here. And we're going to head over to the next base. Now you will have to keep your eye on the radar here. Probably should take my flaps down. One rocket's not going to do anything. I need to jettison that so I get a reload of rockets. And that's going to affect how I'm going to do on this next target. So now I'm totally reliant on my guns to do the job until I get some ordnance back, which is going to be a while. Oh no, what do I do now? Okay, so again, I'm going to drop a bomb right in the middle of this. Oops, misidentified my target. Okay, so while I am showing you everything not to do, let's see if we can do some stuff right here. And I'm going to drop a bomb right in the middle of that. And that captured that base. Alright. I'm not going to last a whole lot longer. And you notice this ME-109T. You're not helpless. Now I see they have one base remaining. And I see a target we can hit. We're going to try. It's probably not going to work here, but we're going to try. Anything you can do to hurt the enemy is a good thing.
Keep it up. Victory is almost ours. Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
We don't have very many hit points left, but we're going to do what we can to hurt this guy.
Be advised, the enemy is concentrating forces near the airfield.
And we've got superiority. And they killed me. It's a little late, guys. You let me... That was a pretty good run. Alright, so in a very short time, we destroyed 9 ground targets, did almost 50,000 points of damage, destroyed 2 aerial targets with our rear gunner. Really decent experience, really decent, pretty good silver. Weren't in the game terribly long. Total time in combat, I believe, is going to be fairly short. Yeah, not quite 8 minutes. Team score came in pretty good. My chat's broken, so he'll get this after. We always end up on the opposite side. I don't know what my deal is with that. I never can spell usual very well. Okay, so kudos to a fellow pilot that did well. But yeah, we did pretty darn well here. So team score. And they had a kind of rough time, I guess. Alright, so there is your fully upgraded IL-10 and what it can do. Air opposition was pretty light in this one, which certainly made my job pretty easy, and we had some coordinated effort. People understanding just exactly which aircraft we wanted to get and how quickly we wanted to get them, or which targets to take. But I will emphasize that why this game went so well is everybody understood which caps to take and in what order. You want your bombers as quickly as possible, then you want that military base so you can get the rockets firing on the enemy's bases as quickly as possible, and then you want to take away their ability to generate bombers and put more bombers on your side. So it compounded their tactical picture beyond their ability to control. You're losing bases to rocket fire. You're losing bases to bomber attack. Your fighters are now up fighting bombers instead of trying to capture caps. And that can cascade. That's how you get to that kind of solution so quickly. But it's absolutely the right way to win the game. It is caps that win games. It is not killing aircraft. And this may be the premier tool to capturing caps. Each capture point, just for the guys that are looking at this for the first time, I know the rest of you know this, each base that you capture gives you 3 influence points per second. When you get a mining base, it gives you 3 per second, plus another 80 influence points every 2 minutes. Makes it the most valuable thing out there for just sheer influence. When you capture a command base, it calls in fighters. That has the your enemy bots cannot resist bombers. They will go after it every time. And then when you go after a military base and you capture it, it generates rocket strikes, which will eventually capture every base in the game. So the game presents you with a various number of strategies to win. As a fighter, you want to be over caps, or you want to be defending your bombers, or you want to be defending your ground attack aircraft. That means you're still going to get to fight enemy fighters, you're still going to get to attack enemy aircraft, but it's got to be more focused than some of the things I see to win on a consistent basis. All right, that'll wrap it up for today. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and to subscribe.